it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the Witch-king of Angmar. Yes, here he is. He's awesome. I love him. He's the plastic version of the kit. It's a really cool model, and we're going to be painting up both versions of him. Now, to be honest, we're probably going to just focus on the guy on horse, because there's nothing really individual about either one, aside from the horse, except for the mace, which we will pick out, but you can probably guess how that's going to be done based on how this one's going to be painted. But we're going to be painting up both of these for the video today to help you paint up your Witch-king of Angmar, and indeed any other ring wraiths that you might have. Now, this is going to be very simple, which we like, and well, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting them. They've been primed in grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Cygor Brown, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the horse. Now I'm going to start here on the tail, and we're pretty much going to apply this over the top of the entirety of the horse because it is quite dark. We're just going to get this on like this, and this is where we begin our Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2 project of an evil army, as chosen by you, the good folks of YouTube. We're kicking things off with the Witch King. Makes sense, right? So we're going to get this all over. We don't need to get this over the top of the hooves. Or indeed the inside of the horse's mouth. It really is going to be that simple. So with that done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the ring wraith's robes, all of the leather details, all of the cloth on the horse's hooves as well. So with that done, most of the miniatures have got their base coats on. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take some thinned down Leadbelcher, and we're going to apply this over pretty much all of the remaining details, excluding the horse's eyes, teeth, and inside of its mouth. I'm just going to apply this Leadbelcher like this. Now, one thing to be a little bit mindful of here is that there are the odd buckle and belt and strap and things like that scattered around, so you will just want to watch out for those. Closely inspect the model as you go so as not to miss anything. So with all that Leadbelcher applied, as you can see, it's, well, coming together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Blood Angels Red next, and we're going to apply this over the top of the horse's eyes and the inside of the horse's mouth. And with that done, we're then going to take some skeleton horde. I'm going to apply this over the horse's teeth, just like this. So with that done, the base coats are now on both of our Witch Kings, so it's time to add some shades. And the first one we're going to add is some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the horse's flesh. And this is just going to add a little bit of an element of red in there, but it's also just going to smooth out and darken down just a little bit more all of that horse flesh. As you can see, it already looks great just there on the leg. Now, we're not going to do this over the tail, we don't need to. So we'll create a little bit of variation here. But the colour variation is very subtle on him. With that horse flesh all shaded, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Targor Rageshade. I'm going to use this, it's best to demonstrate on this one. We're going to use this to shade the lower robe like this. Just like that sort of thing. And what we're also going to do is we're going to use this to shade all the silver. So with that Targor Rageshade applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Nuln Oil. And we're going to apply this over the top of the upper robe. Again, just creating very, very subtle colour variations in the model. Like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over the top of the silver. You don't have to do all the silver. I'm just going to go for the bits that I want to be really dark and well defined, such as this really scaled and evil armour. But for something like the crown, you don't need to. So with that done, the Witch-king of Angmar is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. And they look, well, pretty awesome already. You could leave it there, honestly. They're still drying at the moment, but they just look fantastic already. Really amazing models. However, we're not going to. We're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now at this point, we're pretty much just going to focus on the horse and, well, the mounted version of him. And the colour we're going to be using first is some Bloodreaver Flesh. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick a place to start. I'm going to start right here on this leg. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the horse's flesh. So we're just going to very carefully now make our way around the horse's musculature. Adding a bit of definition. Just like this sort of thing. So with that done, just before we finish off the horse's flesh, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown. We're going to use this to highlight the tail. We would do the mane if he had one, but he doesn't. So with that Gorthor Brown applied, we're then going to take some Knight-Questor Flesh. I'm going to use this to pick out the sharpest points across both the flesh and the horsetail. And so with that done, it's now time to move on to the most significant part of our Witch King, on both of them, and that is going to be the black. Now we've got two different colours here. We've got the lower parts and all the leather, and we've got the top parts as well. And they're going to be slightly different blacks. That way we have a nice bit of colour variation in the models. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with those lower parts and the leather details. And the colour we're going to be using to highlight them is some Skavenblight Dinge. So leather parts are going to include things like the sort of tack of the horse, like that sort of thing. And then we've got the areas that we did towards the bottom of the miniatures. So for example, just here, like that sort of thing. Similarly on our standing Witch King, we have all of this area down here. But he does have a belt as well, so you'll just want to make sure you pick that one out. You can see all of it around here. So with all of that Skavenblight Dinge applied to all those areas, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Stormvermin Fur. I'm going to use this to add some slightly sharper highlights to those corners and prominent edges. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here, for example, just down here on the robe. Add a little bit of a hint of Stormvermin Fur. Where we've got the tears in the fabric, for example. Like this. And similarly all the leather. So with that done, half the black is now finished. He's already looking pretty cool. However, we're now going to do the rest of it. The colour we're going to be using for that is some Eshin Grey. So this is going to be for the kind of top parts of his robes that we did with Nuln Oil. So we'll just start just here. So with all of that Eshin Grey applied, what we're now going to do is finish off all of the black by taking some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight the sharpest points of those Eshin Grey areas. So for example, we've got this little corner just here. And so with that done, on both of our models, it is now time to finish him off. And the colour we're going to be using, I'm going to demonstrate on this guy because we haven't for a while. The colour we're going to be using is some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to be using this to highlight all of the silver. Just picking out all of the edges. Just like that sort of thing. There on the crown, and on the sword, and on all the armour as well.
Warhipster is yet to reveal his deadliest servant, the one who would lead Mordor's armies in war, the one they say no living man can kill. The Witch-king of Angmar. Here he is. Yes, I'm quite a big fan of this. I think it looks great. Really, really simple, but it has its complexities, which is really nice. Oh man, it's so cool. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support me a little bit further, you absolutely can do. Head over to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And you can also become a YouTube channel member, just like this incredible bunch of folks scrolling up on the screen before you. There's a hell of a lot of you, and well, I can't do this without you. YouTube and Patreon, you guys absolutely keep the lights on and make all of this worth it. Thank you so much to all of you for everything you do. And if you really like this video and you just want to shoot me a little thanks, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.